Alright everybody, welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing today? Alright. So today we're just going to be working on making some motion graphics presets. I've already made a bunch of them here. Two of them are playing up on the screen here. Is everybody able to hear me okay? I hope so. Let me know if it needs to be louder or anything like that. All right. So yeah, pretty much what I have going on here is I'm working on an update to my MotionEssentials plugin. So currently the MotionEssentials plugin works that you would just kind of take like a background node. Alright, you could view it off to the side. Audio is a bit quiet. Alright, let me just try and boost it here. Alright, how is that? Oh, that's the wrong one. One more try. Okay, is it a bit better now? Dominion says audio levels sound good. Glad you could stop by for a little bit at least. Alright, so anyways, the MotionEssentials plugin. So I would add the node in. Let me just put this off to the side so I can view it at the end. And then up in the inspector, I could do browse presets, and I'd have all these presets that I could add in. So, like, let's say I take a burst effect, okay? So I just grab the simple burst, and now, if I come back here, it has just this little burst element that I can use now. Alright. So what I'm doing is making an update so it has a bunch of new burst effects. And what I wanted is control for motion blur, so that we can use motion blur on these. So like the one on the right here is one of the updated burst effects. And as you can see, it has motion blur. So I can show you how this is working so far. So right now, this is the node. Well, I want to have global motion blur controls, so every time I add in a preset here, it'll refer back to this node to get its motion blur settings. So let me grab one of my presets here real quick. So let's say I take the burst 10, which is the one up on the right here. This is what the preset will look like now. So in the inspector we have position controls. So let's say I merge it up. We have position controls built right in that I can move it around. I have like the size control, which just changes its resolution. I have the angle, the amount of copies, and all that stuff. But down here I have motion blur, so I can change it from global to none, so there's no motion blur. Or I can change it to local. So if it's set to local, it'll use these two controls here to adjust the quality and shutter angle. But when it's set to global, which is default, it'll refer back to the node that it was added in by. So in this case, it's just this one, for example, so that you can update all of the nodes at once. All right, so it's just it'll save you a bunch of time once you're actually using them, if you want to even have motion blur on them. All right, and yeah, all this will be put out as an update to the pack. So if you guys already have the MotionEssentials pack, it'll just be sent out to your email, a free upgrade. So that's really nice. All right, but now what I want to do is I was trying to get these working in particle systems, but that's not working for some reason. So that's I might try and figure that out, but I was wondering, do you think I should include some like background animations and elements in my Motion Essentials pack as well. So like the background that I played at the beginning of my stream here, like here, let me put it up. Like this background here, like have this as an option that you can just quickly add in stuff like this for your motion graphics. Otherwise, I want to make like some clusters, so it'd just be a bunch of the bursts and accents and stuff put together, just in like a preset formation, so you don't have to do it every single time. But I'll wait to see what you guys think I should do. That looks amazing. I think you should include that. Okay, so that's what I'll do, is I'll work on making some like backgrounds like that in the stream and turning them into presets for the pack. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of this for right now, because I don't need that. So I'm going to use, for that background, I'm going to just remake it here so you can see kind of how I did that. Why didn't that add in? Oh, I can't type. That's weird. It's not adding in the node. That's really weird. Alright, well, I'm just going to quickly restart Fusion. Fusion Studio, the restart time is crazy. Look at that, how fast that was. It's absolutely amazing. That just takes a minute to open the project, but yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, okay, so now I can add ellipse nodes in. That's really weird. Alright, let's get a render node, and we'll view it. So I'm also going to add in a custom node, or a custom tool, and I'll rename this background 1 underscore controls. Oh wait, no, I did that already. Okay, I'll do bg1 underscore controls. There we go. So in here, I can do edit controls, and I will add a position control. Set this to be point under the controls tab and offset control with a crosshair. Alright. So now when I view that, we just have a crosshair on the screen and the position. I can also add in a size control. Just want to call it size. Actually, for this one, I don't know if I want to do that. Since this is a background, I don't think I want all the same controls. So let's add in another custom tool, just reset it. Really cannot type. Alright, so what I'm going to want is, let me create this here. I can link all the controls up later. Alright. Let's make a little dot here. For the intro one, I had it at 0.002. I'll do sgrid. Connect all these up here. All right. You think the background could be done using particles and a fast noise node? Yeah, it's kind of close to that. So what I do is I create a grid of circles and then just use a fast noise node to drive some displacement. But what I want to do is make it so that it's as procedural as possible. So here, what I'll do is I'll do expression, and then I will do the grid cells divided by 10. So hopefully that'll, oh wait, no, that's not right. Because as this goes up, this needs to go down. I'm just trying to think of what math I would use for that. So if it's at 10, Under the BG controls here, I'm going to add a grid count. And we'll do a slider control, integer range. We'll do 5 to 200. So in the grid, I can set this to be bg1 underscore controls dot grid count. Is that how it would work? Just trying to figure out how this would work. I want to use an expression in the x offset. That would make it so no matter what the count is, all the dots are visible in the frame. Alright, well, I will come back to that. Yeah, okay. Let me just space these out a little more. There we go. And then I will add in a displace node, or a fast noise first. And just remove some detail. A little more contrast, bring up the brightness a little. And the scale up. Let's try that for now. And then I can add in a displace node. And now you will see that they will start displacing a little bit. Alright, let's get a background node. And let me grab the color I want. There we go. That's not the right one. Let's see. Right there. It's a very dark gray. And then these will also make a pretty dark gray. Something like that. really displacing in this bottom corner. Alright, but there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Alright, so that's all I did for this background. There we go, so... Oh yeah, so we can do grid count. I'll add in a grid spacing control. And I'll connect this to BG1 grid spacing. There we go. Now I can use this to adjust the spacing. Let me make this control a bit less sensitive. So let's do to 0.5. It's still a little much. Spacing 0.2. There we go, that's better. This will be saved so you can watch it later. It'll be live on my channel a few hours after it ends because it has to process. Unless you save the link, then I think you can watch it right away. It's kind of weird. Alright, so we got the grid count, grid spacing. Let's do displacement, speed, or we'll just call it speed just to simplify it. And in the fast noise, we'll set the seethe rate to be equal to that. There, so now I can just bring this up. You can make this kind of fast if you'd like. A little slower. Let's see. Alright, there we go. And I'm just going to go through and update all these so that this is the default value for them. Grid count, default 55. Spacing, the default is 0.063. No, that's the wrong one. 0.0205. The speed is 0.063. Okay. I don't think we'll need motion blur controls for this one, just because this is kind of simple. I think I might want to add a vignette to it. Just very simple here. Yeah, just kind of have it fade off a little bit. Alright, here I can have the height. It'll be width divided by 2. So now I can do, let's see. Moving size controls. Here we actually want this to be equal to, like, if I come down to its size, we can do 0.5 to 1.5. There we go. And so the width will be equal to that. maybe we want it to be even higher. Yeah, you probably wouldn't go past 1, so. Let's do 1 to 2. There we go. I like that. You don't think I know how important it is for people to see these steps? Am I not explaining it enough? Sorry. Or am I going too fast? That's probably it. Alright. Overall though, how do you guys think this looks? I think it turned out to be pretty good. Oh wait, I should add a little bit of a glow to it. That's what I did in the last one. Just a nice little glow. Oh wait, I gotta put this before the background. That's why it's not looking right. Right there. Okay, in this control, I'm going to add dot size. And let's see. Okay, it's gonna be super small, so I'll do 0 to like 0.1. Put this at 0.002. Yeah, no, we want that to be even smaller. Let's do that. And I'll link that there. So now with this control, we can adjust the size of all the dots. I'm gonna add a control for glow intensity here. Yeah, so. Alright, there we go. And then I'll add one for glow size. So it's really helpful to be able to know how to like add controls like this, just by right clicking and doing the edit controls, because I'll just use them in just projects that aren't for creating presets. I'll just add a control every now and then to help with something. I can't really think of an example right now, but it's definitely something that is nice to know. Alright. And I want to set this to 2.4 like it was before. There we go. Alright, I think that's a little intense. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to go through and do is, for this project I've been putting the name, like, to indicate burst 5, I've been putting B5 before all the controls. It just helps me stay organized so I can have everything in the same project here. So I just I select all of them, do F2, hit home. This is going to be BG1, and I'll copy this and just paste it on each of them. Except for that one I messed up. So is that one. I'm going in the wrong order. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, so now for making this into a preset, the controls that I want available are this node, of course, and then the ellipse for the color and the background, again, for the color. So I can select this one, and that one. And then select the rest of them, macro, create macro, and I'll call this background 1. And then just go through and select all the controls that I want, so all the custom ones that I added. Then under the ellipse, I'll come down to the style and select the color controls. And the background, I'll select the top 4 color controls. And I'll hit close, hit yes. I'm going to make a new folder here for backgrounds. And then save that. So now what I'm going to do is make the menu for the preset look a little bit better. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. If I view this off to the side, we've got our template with all the controls here. But I want to like play around with the order and stuff. So I'm going to open this up in Visual Studio Code. Looks like we got a new version. Don't want that right now. But so this is all the code that goes into that setting. Alright, and I have this page here that's just all of my expressions and stuff that I've been using for the MotionEssentials pack and like the label stuff. But so what I want to do is play around with the order of these controls here. If I come into Fusion, I want it to be dot size, and then grid count, spacing, speed, vignette, glow, intensity, and size. So I just need to drag the dot up to here. So if I come in here, I can just go down and look for the dot size, so input 5 here. I can just select all this. I'll Control X, and then I'll come up to the top here, Control V, and paste it up top here. I can select all this and copy it. And then I can paste it in here, and dot size is up at the top. Learn how effects says use Notepad++. Oh, why do you say that? I've used that before. I like the look of Visual Studio better. But yeah, what's your reasoning to use Notepad++? Alright, but then next up, I might actually... Yeah, okay, so I'm going to move the color controls over to their separate page. Okay, so how I do that is I will come over here, I have a label created for it. So it just looks like this. And I'll come down to the first color of the ellipse, and right before it, I'll hit enter and paste it. And then I need to change my source operator to match the node. Alright. And then if I come down to that node, so BG ellipse 1, I can paste in this control that I have right here. And it'll set this is the main thing that I'm looking for here. It sets it to the control page color. and we'll do this dot color. And if I come back up, I can copy this label again, paste it after or right before my background color. Do color label 2. I'll just add a 2 at the end of that. And set the source operator to match the node. And then I can scroll down to where the controls for this node is and add this in. And we'll do BG color. So I think I did all that right. This gets a little bit more complicated. So if I drag this in, yep, now you can see we have the dot color and the background color up at the top here. Alright, so you said it's better for scripting. VS Code is for compiled code. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess all I use it for is what I just did there. But I'll look in a Notepad++. Okay, so particle bitmap inputs need to have an alpha value, not just 0. So you can copy your red value to the alpha value with channel booleans, and it will work with a particle system. Okay, let's try that. Let me grab one of my burst elements here. All right. But that's weird, because I think I used them like the same type of thing in my past pack, or my last pack here. Like this is the input to it. And the output, it has the particle system. So maybe I'm looking at your comment wrong here. But it all seemed to work with this setup here. Let's try what you just said here. So we do bitmap, you can view that. Set that to 2D, and using a channel Boolean node, change the alpha, copy it from red. Oh, was that what we said? Copy the red value. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh wait, does it need to be foreground or something? Here, I think I just messed that up. Haven't used this node that much. I am viewing alpha now, right? Yeah. So I'm viewing my alpha channel. What's Is that looking right? Or I'm just curious to see what this would look like. Yeah, it looks the same. It's really weird. Because I don't get what the difference between this and this node is. Like why they would work differently. Because these backgrounds are actually, it's the same background like I used. I modified it a little bit. Does it not like coming out of the controls node? Like would that have something to do with it? It's not that. I've checked that already. Unless they're extremely tiny. Because under the size, 1 should be the equivalent. But yeah, I'm very confused by this. Size is at 1. What's the particle age is what I used. I can up the size of the actual burst. Which I can't see right now. Oh, there it is. Okay. That's weird. Why does it end right there? I think it's just a rendering issue. Okay, now that's confusing me. I don't get why that's ending on frame 16 here. Huh. Let's try changing the size again, because I don't want this to be a consistent issue. Oh, that's why. The background's not linked right. Yeah, okay. That's my issue right there. Alright. Not the particle things. The particle's still going to be messed up. But that was just another issue that I had in the node. Let me go fix that here quick. There. That should be good from default. So let's say I flip these around here. So it works if I have it set up like that. And if I bring the alpha all the way down. That's extremely strange. That looks kind of cool though. It's crazy. Piece by piece? Okay. That's crazy. That looks really cool. Okay, let me just ungroup this here. Okay. Oh, so it works from there. It works from there. Oh. It's the time speed node. What would the time speed node be doing? I am editing a macro in VS Code. So this right here is the code. That's not right. That is the code for this preset right here. But yeah, why would the time speed node be messing stuff up? And it's just this time speed node. There's something wrong with it. So it's as soon as I put an expression on the delay, and my original one didn't have an expression on the delay. That's weird. Why would that affect anything? Huh. Okay, well, simple solution is with the particle systems, I don't need a time speed node there. So I can just put it in like that, but still, that's really strange. Anyways, very confused by that. Yeah, it's the expressions what was causing that. So if I put it in like this, it works. I should go to like frame 8, so it doesn't have to render as much. I mean, maybe? No, I'm not seeing anything. Does it not like being in a group either? Yeah, it doesn't like being in a group. So if I set it up like this, Okay, it does work. That's really strange. But yeah, I don't need a time speed node. What I was going to do for these is I'm going to start with the first burst effect, actually. So burst number 1. And I was going to ungroup them anyways. We don't need any of these nodes right there. Alright, so now we have some bursts. And I'm going to make a new controls node for this. So let's add custom tool. Alright, and then in this one I can add in like the size control. And I forgot what the range is that I use on this. 0.25 to 1.5. There we go. Okay, so now it's linked to this node here. I'll set a rectangle to emit these particles. Say that's way too many. Let's do 3 every frame. Maybe 2. That's pretty good. I like that. Alright, so now this controls the amount of particles. There we go. Actually, I'd like this to not be integer. There. Alright, that's good. So then I also will need the motion blur controls. I can also do the I should randomize the rotation maybe. So I could do 360 degrees here. Rotation variation 0 to 360 integer and a screw control. Okay. There we go. How to add settings to transition OD title. Oh, are you wondering to an OD title? I'm not sure about that. Where do you want to add settings? Do you want to add transition settings? Like you have transition presets or title presets? Sorry if I'm just misunderstanding the question. Alright, but I will add time speed node here. Maybe with blur to transition. So do you want to know how to make a transition? Is that what you're saying? A blur transition? Alright, I'm going to add in the motion blur controls now. So motion blur controls, it's going to be a multi-button control with none, local, and global. And then I did local motion blur dash quality. I think I did 2 to 10 for this one. Two to 10, default to 4. Okay, that's right now. Okay, and then local motion blur dash shutter angle. Default of 180. The range is 0 to 360. There we go. And I want that to be integer. Alright, then I just need to link up the expressions correctly. So in here I have all my motion blur expressions. So if I do a find, I can do A16 underscore, and then I can replace this with P1 underscore. So then all of these controls will be updated. So that I can come in here under settings and just paste these in. So that way, this is a big if expression, so what it does is if the drop-down menu is equal to 0, which would be, don't want to open Davinci. So if this is equal to 0, which is none, it'll turn the motion blur off. But if it's equal to 1, which is local, it'll refer to these controls and turn the motion blur on. And if it's equal to 2, it'll refer to the controls from this node here. Alright, so we can test that by just seeing, well, there's no motion blur right now, and then setting it to local. And once it's set to local, if we want to make this a little faster, I can just view the burst effect. There we go. And then I can just adjust the quality of it. And that's changing, and the shutter angle, and it's all changing correctly. So I'll just set it to global, which is what I want by default. I'm going to rename all of these nodes. Call this P1. There we go. Alright, so I think that is all good. For now at least. Got the size, the particle count, the variation, time offset, motion blur, and then, yeah. We need to make sure, yep, that's all linked right. Alright, so I can save this one as a preset then. So I'll select that one, this one first. Oh wait, one more thing that we need the amount of copies. What do I have this set to? I think 20. Yep, 1 of 20. Copies, we'll do controls 1 to 20, integer, and slider. So if I set this to 4 by default, I think. Yeah, 4. We can come into the duplicate node and just change this so that it refers to that control. Okay. Now real quick, I will just copy that, new document, paste it, and come down to the copies here, and I can cut that. I want to add this under the rotation variance and paste it. So now it is right up there. I do need to restart Davinci Resolve though for it to link the expressions right. Or not Davinci Resolve Fusion. It's weird, but that's what you have to do. Alright. And I did forget to mention, if this is all, like I said before, this is all for the MotionEssentials plugin. And down in the description there is a 20% off coupon if anybody wants that. All these presets that I'm making will be included, or you'll get a free update. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely go check that out. Alright, but now that I have this done, let's save this as a preset. So macro, create, we'll do particle system 1. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to name this. I'm just going to keep it. I think I'll change it. But for now, I'll just name it that. Let's go up here. That's not the right spot. particle systems, and save it. So now here's my setting file. So using my code editor now, I will go to edit this. In the viewer, I'm going to, actually, I already did that, so I don't need to. Alright, but I'll take my motion blur label, and I'll put it above input 6, which is the motion blur one. And my color label, and I will put that above input 9, and change the source operator to p1 underscore background 1. Then my motion blur label that I have, I'll put under the time offset, right before motion blur. And then the color label is already there. So we'll just save that. Actually, I want to come up and set this to be a group operator. So now that all works. And for particle systems, I gotta figure out what color I want for them. But I'll make it so when you import the group, it automatically stays that color. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just a little behind the scenes on how I make the presets. Hopefully I'll be getting this entire pack done in the next couple of weeks, and it will be released. But yeah, with that, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.